from Indonesia. I don't see probably from the Indonesia. Mostly the language will be in English. But since Prof Ismail also is very familiar with Indonesian and he knows very well in bahasa, so probably mix between Indonesian and English. For Bapak Ibu sekalian who won't speak to in bahasa, welcome. Also, you can translate. Pak Ismail also can be understand in bahasa, so we can mix this seminar with the both language, Indonesian and English. Gitu ya, Ismail.
Ya, Pak.
Ya.
Ya, Pak.
Okay, time to prepare for opening. 1 minute. So, sebelumnya saya akan Okay. Let's take picture dulu sebelum kita mulai. Oke.
Halo.
Assalamualaikum. Selamat welcome Prof Andi Faisal Bakti.
Assalamualaikum.
Ya.
Yang terjadi status.
Ada? Oke. Start. Oke. Baiklah, sekalian kita mulai. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Salam sejahtera, good afternoon for everybody. Selamat siang. Salam, Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan. First of all, we like to thank for all of you for come, for join with our international seminar series with the speaker now, Professor Ismail Khalil Ibrahim from Linz, Austria. The topic today for international online seminar for artificial intelligence for everybody. So we like to thanks for all of you, especially for speaker, conjoins from Austria. Ismail, we are here in Jakarta time 1:30.
Di sini 8:30.
Yeah, 4 hours before, ya. Yeah?
6 hours. 6 hours.
Oh, 6 hours. So
6 hours.
For 8:30 in the Austrian time. Yeah, Linz. Okay, Bapak Ibu sekalian, we conduct this seminar in English, but we can also, you can speak in bahasa, since Prof Ismail Khalil Ibrahim also understand very well in bahasa, so we can mix together with English and Indonesia. So topic today for international seminar, artificial intelligence for everybody. Now I would like to inform you that's the profile of the Professor Ismail. Actually, Professor Ismail now is the lecturer And okay. Now is currently the deputy head the Institute of Telecooperation, Johannes Kepler University, Linz, Austria, since October 2002. He's also the president of what we know as was International Organization on Information Integration and Web-based Application and Services. It was. He holds also PhD, especially in computer engineering. Received his ability degree in applied computer science, user-con agent interaction in Ubiquitous Environment in May 2008. He currently teaches, consult, and conduct research in mobile multimedia, cloud computing agents, technology, and web intelligence. He's also interested in broader business, social, and policy implications associated with emerging immersion technology. Especially Pak Ismail ini bachelor degree-nya sebetulnya from Irak. Nanti bisa di lebih detail, can explain more detail. And also master degree in Gajah Mada University, yeah, after doctoral degree, PhD. Yeah. So before he joined Kepler University, he was research fellow in the Intelligence System Group at Utrecht University, so Netherlands from 2001-2002, and also project manager of AgentCom project, a software competence center, Agent-based Austria from 2000 until 2001. Yeah. Dr. Khalil also has author around 100 scientific publication, books, and book chapters. Now he also founder of IWAS, if you know, IWAS International Conference, MOMS, Multimedia. He served as editor-in-chief for international journal, 2 book series. His work has been published and presented at various conferences and workshops. Pak Ismail also can explain more detail, so what is background and also what he's doing now. So now we would like to give to Professor Ismail Khalil Ibrahim to give directly the seminar, because we have the available times, limitation of time, so we can use all the time to hear the sharing knowledge from Professor Ismail, especially for artificial intelligence. This for everybody. So probably the topics very interesting. We can also here share and asking discussion with the professor. Now we directly to give the times. We manfaatkan waktunya dan sebaik-baiknya. For available times, the 2 session, 1 session, he can explain detail, and then the next session we can discuss. So for all of you who want to ask the question, you can give to the chat. Yeah. Ask the question from the chat. If we have any time for the times, so we can also discuss directly if we have time. So the last session, you can discuss directly. You can also ask the 1 question, but especially for the priority, we can give the question from the chat first. So we can send the chat to ask the question, what kind of question. So can give the Professor Ismail the second session to answer. The third session, so we can discuss interactively if we have still have time. So the last not least, we can closing ceremony with taking picture together. Okay, the first session we continue and we start the seminar from Professor Dr. Ismail University Linz, Austria. Time is yours, Prof. Ismail. Bapak Ibu sekalian bisa nanti pertanyaan bisa dalam bentuk bahasa Indonesia. Silakan Pak Ismail. Time is yours.
Thank you, Pak Sufyan. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Saya anggap diri saya orang Indonesia. I spent 3 beautiful years in Jakarta, the most beautiful years in my life. And now, I want to be honest with you. I miss Gudeg. So anybody can provide me with Gudeg? Okay.
Gudeg online nanti.
We can send you.
Okay. Okay, so
Through webinar.
okay, so today actually I wanted to talk about artificial intelligence, and I gave my talk.
Kena mute, Profesor Ismail, kena mute. Please unmute.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, should I repeat what I said?
Yes.
So I said I anggap diri saya orang Indonesia. Okay, and I spent 3 beautiful years in Jakarta, the most wonderful, the most beautiful years of my life, where those 3 years I spent in Jakarta and in Gajah Mada University. So I consider myself an Indonesian. I don't think I am Austrian or even I am an Iraqi. I am more Indonesian than Austrian and Iraqi. So today I wanted to talk about artificial intelligence. Okay, a topic which is very state of the art, a hot topic. And I wanted to share my experience with you. And I gave my talk the title, Practical Artificial Intelligence for All or for Everybody. Let me start with sharing the slides with you. So the title of the talk, I hope you can see the slides now. You can see the slides. Sorry, Pak Sufyan.
Yes.
Okay.
We can see very well.
So you can see the
Yeah. Now
so
it's good.
I gave the talk the title Practical Artificial Intelligence for All. And I will start with the for all in the title. Okay. So, and I want to tell you the tale of the emperor's new clothes. Okay, this is a story from the Danish, from Denmark folklore. There were an emperor who is fond in new clothes. Okay, he is actually obsessed with new clothes. So he wants to wear a new suit of clothes every 1 hour. Okay. So there were 2 thieves or 2 scammers, let us call them. And they wanted to take money from the emperor by telling him that we will make the most wonderful suit for you. But this suit will not be visible, it will be invisible for people who are unfit for their job or who are stupid or idiot. So people who are unfit for their job, they will not be able to see the clothes of the emperor. also, the people who are stupid or idiot will not see the clothes of the emperor. And the thieves told the emperor that the clothes will be the most beautiful clothes in the world. Okay, the colors are beautiful, the patterns are beautiful, and everything will be perfect. So the emperor agreed and gave them the money, and they started working. And every time the emperor goes to see the progress of the work, okay, he see nothing, okay? So because they do nothing, they are just sitting and talking to each other. So the emperor thought, if I tell them that I see nothing, then maybe I am unfit for my job as an emperor. So he sent his assistant to see the progress of the work. And when the assistant arrived, he saw nothing. But he can't tell the emperor that I see nothing, because he thought, in this case, the emperor will think he is unfit for his job. And the emperor sent other peoples, and everybody will come back to the emperor telling him that, wow, this is a wonderful suit, you will enjoy it. And so he tried to put on the suit, which is nothing, and go to show to his people. And when he went outside wearing nothing, nobody can tell him, we cannot see your clothes, because in this case, they will prove that they are stupid and idiot. So this is exactly the story of artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence is in every aspect of our daily life. Nobody cannot see artificial intelligence. When you use your mobile phone, there is an artificial intelligence behind it. When you send or receive an email, there is artificial intelligence behind it. When you use Google to search the web, then there is artificial intelligence behind this. When you go to the supermarket to buy something, there is artificial intelligence behind this. When you go to the bank to do a transaction, then there is artificial intelligence is in every aspect of our daily lives nowadays. There is no aspect of our life which is not enabled or empowered by artificial intelligence. And everybody, starting from Tukang Beca to the President of the Republic of Indonesia, need to have a basic knowledge of artificial intelligence. I repeat, from Tukang Beca to the highest rank in the Indonesian government need to know about artificial intelligence. Because if you don't see artificial intelligence in every aspect of our daily life, then you are unfit for your own job. Okay, so the reason why I'm talking about artificial intelligence today is to provide you with the information and the tools you need to look at the growing world of cognitive computing, smart machines, machine learning, deep learning, natural language processing and generation, speech recognition, and the broad and narrow systems of artificial intelligence. Okay, so because artificial intelligence is around us in all the aspects of our life. Now I come to the term practical in the title of my talk. Okay, so there are two actual schools of thought when we talk about artificial intelligence. The first one is called the the traditional or the classical artificial intelligence. The aim of the classical artificial intelligence is to create a machine sorry, that copy or imitate a human intelligence, to create the machine version of the human brain. This is the classical artificial intelligence, okay? Okay, is to copy the human brain into the, sorry, into the machine. The second school of thought in artificial intelligence is called the modern artificial intelligence. So we don't want to copy or imitate the human brain, but create an artificial brain, okay? So a machine is a brain of its own. We don't want to copy the human brain, but sorry, to create something which is similar to the human brain, but it is not a human brain. The same in the aerodynamics, okay? So by inventing planes, airplanes, we didn't copy or imitate the behavior of the birds. We created something which is similar to birds, but if it has its own character, it follows the laws of physics in order to fly like like birds. And this is the practical part in the title of my talk. Artificial means human-made, okay? Anything which is human-made is called in English artificial, okay? And I should emphasize the difference between real and fake, okay? So we have real things and we have fake things. On the other side, we have natural, which is made by nature, and artificial. Artificial means something which is made by a human. So artificial intelligence doesn't mean fake intelligence, okay? It means a human-made intelligence. So the fear of artificial intelligence that will kill us or will end the human race is not true, because it is a human-made intelligence. Now we come to the, I'm sorry, to the definition of intelligence. Actually, I don't have my own definition of intelligence. I can talk about intelligence for hours, but I don't have my own definition of intelligence. What contribute to intelligence? Okay, is it learning, the capability to learn, knowledge? Is it decision making? Is it problem solving? Is it artistic intelligence? Is it emotional intelligence? There are different schools in defining intelligence. So from artificial intelligence point of view, intelligence means sensing the world, look around you, use your 5 senses, understand what is going on around you, reason about it, think about it, and act about it. Action means problem solving, decision making, learning, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so intelligence in the sense of artificial intelligence means to sense the world, to reason about what is going on in the world, and taking actions. Okay, so this is what is in the title of my talk. Most of the time, when we talk about artificial intelligence, we are talking about movies. We see in the theaters or in the cinema. So our understanding of artificial intelligence is based on what we see in Hollywood movies. For example, you can see here in front of you the Ex Machina movie, okay, which is just a kind of science fiction. It has nothing to do with the real artificial intelligence. Or we learn about artificial from science fiction. For example, the other movie, Space Odyssey, and the character HAL 9000, as you can see here, is one example of the manifestation of artificial intelligence. Or we talk about smart machines that will bring death or enslavement or permanent employment to the human race. What we need to understand is the field of artificial intelligence created a lot of hype all over the world, okay? From the killer robot who may take over the world to some smart computers competing on the Jeopardy quiz, as I will talk about the Watson supercomputer, to Siri, which is available on our mobile phones, where we can ask Siri to find the restaurant nearby. The landscape of artificial intelligence is so vast, and the potential uses are too many. As I mentioned before, artificial intelligence is in every aspect of our daily life. And the purpose of this seminar or workshop is to help you understand artificial intelligence so you can be naturally intelligent in your conversation and your decision related to artificial intelligence. Okay, so we say that artificial intelligence is all around us. If you are using, for example, an iPhone, then Siri is over there. If you want to get some kind of financial advice, there are some artificial intelligence enabled program. There are also programs who are playing games. You remember the DeepMind project, which defeat the Go player from Korea, the Deep Blue software, which defeated the chess champion in the game of chess, and etc. So we have also some artificial intelligence enabled program behind social networks. So we have, for example, face recognition in Facebook, the voice recognition in other program, the image interpretation, and even the self-driving cars. All are based on artificial intelligence. So what is artificial intelligence? Before we talk about the artificial intelligence, let us start with the background of artificial intelligence. For those who doesn't know where artificial intelligence started, artificial intelligence started in 1956. A group of 10 mathematicians, computer scientists, and other disciplines met in the Dartmouth College and coined the term artificial intelligence. And for this, they mentioned that there will be an attempt will be made to find how to make machines use language like us, human beings, form abstractions and concepts for solve kinds of problems now reserved for humans and improve themselves we think, meaning they think, that a significant advance can be made in one or more of these problems if a carefully selected group of scientists work on it together for a summer. And they defined artificial intelligence to be a subfield of computer science aimed at the development of computers or machines capable of doing things that require intelligence when done by people. Okay, so if somebody do something and you consider this unintelligence behavior, then this is what we want the computer to do. Things which, if are done by humans, will be considered as intelligent. Okay, and there are actually 5 core drivers for the emergence of artificial intelligence. The first one is the increased computational resources. Our computers nowadays think harder and faster. Okay, they are available in the past, but they cannot scale up for higher degree of problems. The second driver for the emergence of artificial intelligence is the growth of data. And I will talk about the relationship between artificial intelligence and big data later. Okay, so the growth of the data available to the machines, okay, make the machines smarter, gives the machines more examples to process, more data to process than it was available in the past. And the third driver for the emergence of artificial intelligence is the focus on specific problems. Okay, so in the past, we try to make the computer solve all available problems. Nowadays, things changed. So for example, Siri and Cortana is address only a specific problem to understand what you ask them and to try to come up with a decision. So the task available for machines nowadays is specific to the point that the machine can perform the task. And the third thing is the advances in knowledge engineering, how to put the rules into the system of artificial intelligence, how to model the word in a set of rules that the machine can understand and can implement. And the last driver of the emergence of artificial intelligence is the new reasoning models. Okay, in the past, most of the rules are built in a knowledge base, if then. Okay, nowadays there are different approach for reasonings. We will talk about them. And this is the practical part of artificial intelligence. Okay, let the machine think like a machine. Okay, don't make the machine think like a human or act like a human. Let the machine think like a machine. Let the child think like a child. Let the bird think like a bird. Let the dog think like a dog. So let the machine, instead of building a machine that copies the human brain, okay, create an artificial brain. Okay, create a machine that think like a machine. Okay. Now, there are different types of artificial intelligence. Okay, the first one is the strong artificial intelligence. Okay, and I call this in the beginning of the lecture the classical artificial intelligence, which is aiming to simulate copy, imitate a human intelligence. Okay? The aim of strong artificial intelligence is to build system that think like a human, and also to explain how a human thinks. Because till now, we don't know what is going on in our brains, okay? We don't know how the brain works in details. We know some bits and bytes about the process of thinking and reasoning, but we don't know the exact truth about how a human thinks. So one goal of the strong artificial intelligence, not only to copy a human intelligence into machines, but also to explain how a human thinks. The second school of artificial intelligence is called the weak artificial intelligence. As I mentioned, create artificial brain, like create an airplane, بصوت, but doesn't mean that you are creating a bird. Create something that follows the laws of physics and can fly, but it is not exactly the physical structure of a bird. So create a machine that represent an artificial brain. Okay, and the artificial brain, or the brain, as I explained in the beginning, takes input from the environment, process this input, and take actions. So make a machine that sense the environment, process what is sensing, and act upon the environment. This is the weak artificial intelligence. So the aim of the weak artificial intelligence is to gating systems to work. Okay, and I give you an example of a weak artificial intelligence is the IBM Deep Blue software, which defeated the world champion in chess, Kasparov. Okay, so Deep Blue is focusing on how to play chess and how to play it correctly and win the game. Because the performance measure in this case is how to win the chess game. Okay, so the aim of the Deep Blue is not to model the human brain, but to win the chess game. So, and there is also, of course, something in between. Okay, some balance between strong artificial intelligence and weak artificial intelligence, which are systems that are informed by human reasoning, but not slaves to human reasoning. Okay, so the human reasoning is used as a guide, but not driven by the goal to perfectly model the human reasoning. Okay. There is also what we call the narrow and broad artificial intelligence. Narrow artificial intelligence means systems which are designed around specific tasks. Okay, so let me take Siri, Cortana, let me take Google now, or these personal assistants. So the aim of the personal assistant is natural language understanding. So when you say pizza, the Siri needs to figure out whether you are looking for a restaurant that serves pizza or you are looking for a pizza recipe. Okay, so after figuring out if you are looking for a restaurant that serves pizza, then it will guide you to the restaurants nearby. Okay, if it figure out you are looking for a recipe for a pizza, then it will search the web come out with answers and tell you how to make the pizza. So it is language understanding and language generation. Okay, so it understands the language, what you utter, and try to figure out what you are saying, and based on this, it will take action. Okay, by either telling you where to find the nearest pizza restaurant or how to make a pizza. So these systems are designed around a specific task. The second type of artificial intelligence is called the broad artificial intelligence, or the general artificial intelligence. Okay, which is designed around the ability to reason in general, to think in general, like humans. Okay, and of course, I mean, to give the system the level of human intelligence, you need to understand human intelligence. In order to build a human brain in a machine, you need to understand the human brain. And we are still far from understanding how human brains work. And there is another category which I don't believe in. It is called the singularity. Okay, in the singularity, the machine, the computer, will be more intelligent than a human, to the point, because you remember from the beginning that I said artificials mean human-made. You don't need to be afraid of artificial intelligence because you create artificial intelligence. Okay, those who are talking about the dark future of artificial intelligence are talking about some other concept. It's called singularity, where the computers will be able to program themselves by themselves. Okay, okay, okay. And this is something I don't believe in, or maybe it is very, very far in the future. I mean, many people anticipate that this will be a reality in 2050, but in my opinion, my experience working with artificial intelligence for a long time, I don't think this is true. Okay, there are attempts to simulate the way we think, we reason, by using deep learning networks, okay, which is still a general model of, for example, learning categories. This is a cat, this is a dog, this is a car, this is not a car, and drawing conclusions from masses of textual evidence. Okay, so it extracts the word, the ideas, the opinion, and try to come up with some conclusions. Another example is, for example, the Amazon recommendation system. When you buy something in Amazon, normally Amazon puts at the end of your purchase something like, people bought this product, also bought these products. Okay. Things you know you don't know, and things you know, and things you know you don't know. So Amazon tries to tell you the things you know, but you don't know. You know that when you buy, for example, a computer, then maybe you are interested in buying a mouse. Or if you buy a mobile phone, maybe you are interested in buying a case for the mobile phone. Okay, so Amazon has its own artificial intelligence system which is behind the recommendations that Amazon gives you when you buy or look at some products. This system will collect the information about you first. Who are you? And your buying behavior. So today you bought a mobile phone, tomorrow you bought a case, afterward you bought, I don't know, some microphone or a headset or etc. And your buying behavior, and figure out who you are and how you are similar to other people. So if you bought these things and another person bought the same thing, but bought an additional item, then this additional item will be recommended to you, okay? And uses this information to suggest a product to you. So there is no intelligence. There is a task, which is a recommendation system based on your profile, based on what the others bought and your purchasing behavior. Okay, so for example, you never bought a watch from Amazon. Amazon will not suggest a watch for you to buy. But if you bought something, for example, I don't know, a toy or some house product, then Amazon will try to figure out the things you bought and try to recommend them to you. I hope I gave you a very general statement about the meaning of artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence comes with different things, okay? But the basic idea is the same, or the basic concept is the same. So sometimes you hear about cognitive computing, okay? Sometimes, which is basically artificial intelligence. Sometimes you hear about smart machines, okay? The Watson, etc. The Deep Blue, the other smart machines. Sometimes you hear the term intelligent assistants. For example, the Siri in Apple computers and Apple phones, the Cortana on Microsoft products, and the Google Now on Android devices. Sometimes you hear predictive analytics, and I will spend some time talking about predictive analytics in this lecture. Sometimes you hear recommendation systems. For example, the recommendation system used by Amazon and the recommendation system used by Netflix. So when you watch a movie on Netflix, you receive, after finishing the movie, you receive some recommendation of other movies to watch by Netflix. Sometimes you hear the word deep learning. Deep learning is part of machine learning, which is part of artificial intelligence. Self-driving cars, okay? Question answering systems, natural language understanding and generations. So artificial intelligence comes with different names for different peoples, but the main goal is to create machines that stimulate the intelligence human behavior. So what are the components of the components of artificial intelligence? What is the artificial intelligence ecosystem? If you remember from my definition in the beginning of intelligence, I said I don't have a one-for-all definition of intelligence. I said, I mean, intelligence is the way we sense the world using our five senses, our sight, our hearing, our smell, our taste, our touch, okay? And reasoning, and then acting, okay? The same thing is the field of artificial intelligence. So, for example, when Netflix or Amazon suggest movies or books for you, they are doing something quite human. It is intelligent. Okay. For example, when you want to buy a gift for your friend, you figure out through his circle of friends. Okay. So you see that your friend is interested in flowers and his friends are also interested in flowers. So you buy flowers as a gift to your friend. So they look at what you have liked in the past, okay, which is proved through what you have viewed, looked at, and purchased, and look for people with similar purchasing profile, and then suggest things those people with the similar profile liked, have seen, or have purchased. So it figure out similarities and make predictions about the person likes and dislikes based on those of someone who is similar to him or her. But this is actually not exactly the way we take actions. Okay, we have some kind of intelligence or cognition, which is broken into three parts, as I mentioned before: taking stuff in, thinking about it, and acting on it. So we have the capabilities of sensing, reasoning, and acting. Okay. Okay. So sensing means taking in the sensor data about the world, including, for example, image recognition. So recognizing important objects, paths for maps, faces, cars, or animals. Okay. The second component of the sensing is speech recognition. Okay, filtering out the noise and the recognizing the specific words. So when you utter the word pizza, Siri needs to figure out that this is a pizza word. This is, so it try to filter out the signal from the noise. And there are other sensors. For example, robotics uses different types of sensors. For example, sonar, RF finders, etc., accelerometers in our mobile phones, balance detections, etc., etc., etc. So this is the way how computers can, or how artificial intelligence can sense the world. The second component is the reasoning component. Okay, thinking about how things relate to what is known, finding relationship between different objects. And examples of the reasoning part is, for example, image processing, okay, or language processing, turning words into ideas and the relationship between these words. The second example is the situation assessment, filtering out what is going on in the world at the broader level than the ideas alone. The third example is the logic-based inference, where we decide that something is true because logically it is true. Okay, okay, okay. And event-based inference, which is deciding that something is true based on the weight of the evidence at hand. Okay. New York is the biggest city in the United States because not only true, but because the evidence leading to New York, the largest city in the United States, is higher than, for example, Los Angeles or other cities in the United States. The fourth example is the planning or the problem-solving example, which is concerned about figuring out what to do to achieve a goal. Okay, so from the initial state to the final state or the goal state, figuring out how to go through the problem. And the other example, which is the biggest example nowadays in artificial intelligence, is the learning example. Okay, so building new knowledge based on examples or the examination of the data set. And this gives us the different classes of machine learning, supervised machine learning, unsupervised machine learning, and reinforcement machine learning. Okay. And the last one, and I will spend some time talking about this, is the natural language generation. Okay. Natural language processing consists of two parts. The first part is the understanding, whether it is a spoken word or it is a written word. Then we need to understand the meaning of the sentence, and the language, the natural language generation, where we can generate language. I think I have some questions here, but I don't know about Sufyan.
Yes.
Perlu saya answer the questions right away, or should I wait till the end?
Bisa diteruskan, kecuali kalau belum ada banyak question. Mungkin
there's not many. There are not.
You can continue first. Then the first session. If you think that the first session is already make it clear, and then you give the question, so we can.
Yeah. Okay, I will give half an hour for questions and answers. Is it enough? Okay.
Yeah, enough.
And the third component of the artificial intelligence ecosystem is the acting component. Okay, and examples of acting, which is generating and controlling actions. The example of the acting is, for example, speech generation, giving a piece of text, generate the audio that express the text. And the second example is the robotic control, moving and managing the different effectors or actuators that move you about the world. And an example of this robotic control is the self-driving cars. Okay. Examples of the sensing component of artificial intelligence is the mobile assistants, which use speech recognition to identify the words that you have said to the system. They do this by capturing your voice and using the waveform to recognize a set of words. Each one of these systems use its own voice recognition software. So, for example, Apple Siri use a system built by a company called Nuance, and Microsoft and Google trying to build their own system. The second component is the reasoning component. Okay, so they do very similar things at this phase. For example, in the pizza examples I mentioned before, the word pizza is marked as being food. using some kind of ontologies built in the system. And there is no term like, for example, a receipt in the text that would indicate that the speakers want to know how to make the pizza. And this, the theory decided that the user is looking for a restaurant selling pizza rather than the receipt for the pizza. So it starts with sounds, and sounds are converted into words, and the words are converted into ideas, and these ideas are converted into the user needs. Okay, so as soon as it figure out that you are looking for a restaurant selling pizza, it will grab the GPS, look up restaurants that serve the pizza, and rank them by, for example, proximity, which one is closest in your area, or their rating, or their prices. And based on this, they give you a recommendation that there is a Pizza Hut over at the corner of the street. Okay, and based on this, and when they will be able to do this, they have some kind of expertise. So in the future, when you ask Siri the same question, okay, it will base its response based on its expertise, and based on this expertise, it will take action. Okay, so let us talk about artificial intelligence and big data. As I mentioned, in the 5 drivers of artificial intelligence, is one of them is big data, the availability of a huge amount of data nowadays. It is mentioned that we generate 2.5 quintillion bytes of data everywhere and every day. And we know that artificial intelligence systems know how to capture the data, how to synthesize the data, and how to use the data to drive reasoning. Okay, so as you can see in the graph in front of you, in the past, when the amount of data is small, the performance of the algorithm will not be improved rapidly. And with the availability of more data, the algorithm will not be able to improve the performance. With nowadays algorithms, the performance of the algorithm increases with the amount of data to some extent. And with the advances in these algorithms through a kind of medium neural networks, then the performance is improving better and better. And with the large neural network with deep learning, the performance of the algorithm is increasing rapidly, exponentially, with the availability of data. Okay, so the data provided to algorithm will increase the performance of the algorithm generating or the reasoning of the algorithm. And how big data drive intelligence. So as we have mentioned before, that artificial intelligence system reason in 3 steps. The first step, it look at the word, it assess the word, and second, it will draw conclusions, it will infer what is going on in the world and make guesses. It will predict what will happen next. And artificial intelligence is not a magic. It's not magic, but it is instead the application of a collection of algorithms powered by data, scale, and processing power, as we mentioned in the five drivers of artificial intelligence. And it is not a miracle when you notice the accuracy of Google Translate, for example, because if you give billions of English, Indonesian bearings of sentences expressing the same idea, okay, learning how to translate one language to another, English to Indonesian, will be a piece of cake, because you provided the system with millions or billions of examples. The system can use them to figure out how to translate between languages. Okay, so for example, we said the example of Amazon. We said that Amazon put a detailed picture of what Amazon knows about you and about similar customers, and create a source for products. What are you going to buy next? The same, for example, for Netflix, based on your viewing history, it will propose or recommend other movies for you to watch. And different other examples of, for example, retailers. It is not popular in Indonesia, but it is very popular in Europe. So I don't know if you have these loyalty cards. So they record what you buy every time you visit the supermarket, and based on what you have bought in the past, they suggest new products to you. Okay, so I don't receive the same advertisements like my neighbor. Okay, I receive something customized to my basic needs. So for example, if you have a kid and you buy products related to kids, then next time you will receive advertisements related to children products. If you have, for example, a pet, a cat or a dog, and you buy most of the time things related to this, you receive. So they always create a profile about the user and about the categories of the products, and based on this, they will create the recommendation. So as I mentioned, these are the basic components used by artificial intelligence in order to make decisions and solve problems: the assessing part, the inferring part, and the prediction part. And for the, so this is, as I mentioned, Amazon 35% of Amazon revenue are generated by its recommendation engine. Okay, and there is no Amazon in Indonesia, but I mean, I can tell you this is true because for me, I buy many things which I don't need because they are recommended to me by Amazon. And the same for Netflix. 75% of the users select movies based on Netflix recommendations. Okay, you start with one movie and then based on, so this is how to assess data with, and there is another part about the inferring knowledge with artificial intelligence, which consists of three parts. The first part is the similarity check. Okay, so when Amazon recommends a book, it first consider who I am similar to and what category of reader I might fall into, what kind of books I read. The engine then, based on these considerations, will check how close my profile to the profile of other users, and if they are viewed or purchased by other people. But Sufyan, I can't hear you.
Okay, continue.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
The second part is the categorization part. Okay, so technique like those who are fluent in machine learning and artificial intelligence knows that naive Bayes, which measures the likelihood associated with each feature, implies that it is a member of a group, can be used to calculate the likelihood that an object with a particular set of features is a member of another group. So if we categorize people based on their groups and the products they bought, then we can provide them with a recommendation. And the last part, which is amazing evidence. Okay, while the rules drive the inference for most artificial intelligence systems, all the rules include some notion of evidence. Okay, these rules can both collaborate, so they enforce each other, or compete with each other, so they eliminate each other and come up with a conclusion. And the last part is the predicting the outcome with artificial intelligence. And this is the topic of collaborative filtering. There are two types for you who know about collaborative filtering. Is a user-based filtering, where we look at what the user liked or purchased and recommend the, so in the first example here, the first user bought the 4 fruits. The third user bought strawberry and watermelon. The third bought strawberry, and the second bought only strawberry. So we can recommend grapes to the third user, or the orange to the third user. We can also filter products based on, or filter recommendation based on the item. So in this example, we propose, for example, the grapes to the third user, because most of the time grapes are bought with other items. So this is the job of the collaborative filtering, which is a kind of a prediction to use the profile to classify the individuals and their behaviors into groups that have similar behaviors. And as I mentioned before, most supermarkets, through their loyalty cards, try to find out what kind of a project to suggest or to recommend to users. And there are, of course, other approaches which are not based on collaborative filtering, for example, data mining, or using machine learning in order to recommend the products and to other users. Okay, what are the examples of artificial intelligence systems? Okay, I would look at 3 examples. Okay, I call them the artificial intelligence emerging technologies. I will talk about IBM Watson, I will talk about the deep learning, and I will talk about predictive analytics. And I don't think I will go through the other parts of the talk because we are running out of time. I wanted to give you some time for asking questions. So the first example is the IBM Watson. Consider what it would be like to have a system that can look at massive volumes of text, apply thousands of rules that link together questions and possible answers and build up evidence for believing in an idea. So for example, when you say New York, okay, and you need to formalize a question related to New York, you can say, what is the biggest city in the United States? Okay, or maybe you say Rubia, and the question will be, what is the currency of the Republic of Indonesia? Okay, or maybe you say Java. Okay, and here is the evidence. Okay, okay, so the answer to the question, the question related to the answer Java can be a coffee, it can be the Java programming language, and it can be the island in Indonesia. Okay, so the system needs to create evidence related to these 3 possible answers. Okay, and if the evidence for the Java as the biggest island in Indonesia is higher than the evidence of Java as a programming language and the evidence of Java as a coffee, then it is the answer to the question. So build up evidence for believing in the data. So I build up evidence that Java is the biggest island in Indonesia. So I'm talking about Java the island, not Java the language, and not Java the. So this is actually the idea behind Watson, IBM Watson. So Watson is an evidence engine starting with a question, a list of, for example, symptoms, or a set of financial goals, to provide you with an answer. The answer can be a diagnosis or an advice by building up an argument that maps your information needs into answers that in the text that it reads. And each rule has a weight associated to it. And this weight can reinforce other rules or compete with other rules. So either it will increase your confidence with the answer provided or decrease your confidence with the answer you have provided. So this is I have many examples about the use of Watson, but we don't have much time. The second, this is IBM Watson, actually the image of IBM Watson. The second is deep learning, okay? So for example, which is used by Google, used by Facebook, used by other companies. So Watson tried to infer answers to questions by looking for evidence in large amount of text. Companies like, for example, Google, Facebook are trying to recognize and categorize objects, for example, words, relationship, by looking at a huge feature set and learn how to assess them. So in order, for example, to index images of a cat, or other than a collection of pixels, or recognizing words in audio signals, you need to determine how the initial features can be translated to more complex features. So for example, you need to map the pixels or the waveforms to lines, to curves, or other sounds, for example, W and V. You have to transform these features that are two details into a more recognizable feature that supports the indexing and the inference. So this is the deep learning, as you can see here in front of you. So deep learning consists of different layers, an input layer and an output layer. If it is only one hidden layer in between, then it is a simple neural network. If there are many hidden layers, then it is a deep learning neural network. And deep learning systems learned either in the supervised or unsupervised modes. In the supervised mode, the network is taught with examples used as input, while the output layer is locked down to values associated with a category. So this is the image of the cat and the label of the cat, which determine whether the neural network is performing well or not. So the output layer is nothing but the output. The second mode of deep learning is the unsupervised mode. Both the input and the output are locked down to the example being processed. The inner layers, okay, or the hidden layers are more compressed than the outer layers. So the network has to learn how to compress the features such that they can still be used to represent the example. So the inner layers, or the hidden layers in the figure in front of you, end up being the output of the and the third emerging technology in artificial intelligence is predictive analytics, which is a huge topic actually. And the goal of predictive analytics is to craft a relationship between some set of visible features and outcomes. So we start with what we want to know. For example, when a cell phone user is going to drop our service, or when someone is laundering money, or someone is going to default on a loan with a bank. Okay, we want to identify the features that can predict or maybe explain these events, so that we can anticipate them. Okay, and there are different, for those who are fluent in machine learning and artificial intelligence, there are different algorithms. For example, regression analysis can be used for predictive analytics, time series analysis can be used, naive Bayes can be used for predictive analytics. And predictive analytics is useful in a wide variety of places. For example, fraud detection, for example, customer retention, risk management, direct marketing, and even in cross-selling. I don't know, Sufyan, do you want me to continue? Actually, this part is the natural language understanding and generation part. We can make it another seminar if you want, or if you want, I can continue for another 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think for 10 minutes you can wrap.
Okay.
We continue for there are 4 questions. Then if we have
Okay.
time, we can continue. For the specific, what you can explain, we can for the next seminar for the specific one.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Now you can
So,
all of us.
now we reach the end. So how machines will communicate with the humans? So we state that machines now, they have their own intelligence, they have their own artificial brains, and they need to communicate because, I mean, we as a human are communicating animals. Okay, so the only difference between us and animals is language. Okay, I mean, and the language is the signal of intelligence. Okay, so I mean, we eat, we sleep, we do the same thing any other animal on the planet is doing. The only difference between us and animals, we are communicating, we are interacting, we understand language and we use language. So artificial intelligence is the same in the same way. They need to communicate with a human, okay, in order to express their intelligence. So, and in order to communicate with a human, they need to do something. Okay, the first thing is to understand language, whether it is the written language or it is the spoken language. And the second thing is to generate language, to communicate with the human. Okay, and one of the methods proposed to test the intelligence of machines is called the Turing test. I'm sure most of you who learned about artificial intelligence heard about the Turing test, okay, which is the use of the language at its core, okay? So Turing test is designed around the ability of the system to have a convincing conversation with the human, okay? We don't expect too much from a machine that will pass the Turing test more than somebody we meet in the industry. Okay, it has become the standard for evaluating artificial intelligence. This is one. The second thing is the processing of the language. Okay, so the natural language understanding systems aim is to figure out the meaning of the language input. So for example, we start with words, pizza, and figure out the meaning of the language, okay? Making sentences, meaningful sentences, and then based on these sentences, we make stories, and so on. And the system aimed at this problem use 3 levels of information. The first level is the pragmatic level, the contextual information, such as, for example, lists or descriptions. I give you an example. X, Bob, a person, got an accident while going to work holding a cup of coffee. Okay, so دي بكنكتش كان بعد ساعات دي برجي تبات بكرجان holding a cup of coffee. Okay, so the pragmatic knowledge, the contextual knowledge about what I said now, the accident happened in the morning because people normally go to the office in the morning. It is not mentioned in what I mentioned, and I'm holding a cup of coffee, and normally people drink coffee in the morning. Okay, so this is the pragmatic, this is the contextual information about the text. The second level is the semantic level, the meaning of the word and how those meanings can be combined. Okay, so for example, when you say a bank can be two things: the financial institution we go to get money, and the river bank, the I don't know the river bank. Okay, so understanding the meaning of the words and how these words are related to each other, and the most simple part, the simplest part, which is the syntax, which is the structural relationship among type of language elements. So we have the noun, the verb, the adjective, the proposition, and the phrases. And the natural language processing system will build out these specific pieces of information and figure out how these pieces of information are connected to each other. So for example, it will focus on names, the company names, people name, organization name, and tag topic to the text. For example, this is about politics, this is about finance, and this is about sport. And then evaluate the sentiment, okay, whether it is said in this context or in that context. And these systems are used in social media networks like Facebook, Twitter, in order to analyze the attitude and the opinion of the people using these systems. So we start with extracting the useful information from the text, and tagging and sentiment analysis by calculating the probability that a document falls into a specific topic or a specific sentiment. And at the end, we need to generate the language from what we have processed by extracting the meaning and trying to tag categories and try to understand the sentiment of the text. Okay, I come to the end of the talk about the future of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence will not kill us. So don't look at the movies and get fooled by what you will see on the science fiction's movies. Artificial intelligence will not eliminate the human race. I mean, we will not live in a future where we will be the slaves to some kind of a super creature called artificial intelligence. Not in the near future, not even in the far future. The third thing, artificial intelligence will not take our jobs. Okay, I mean, because they don't have this human touch. Okay, we need in different aspects of doing our job. Okay, so they will automate some routine tasks, like in the Industrial Revolution. Okay, many of the human labor was replaced by machines, but till now we didn't see machines replace humans. Okay, so to be clear, I will repeat what I said. In the Industrial Revolution, many tasks were replaced by machines, not humans replaced by machines. And in the future, in the future, many tasks will be replaced by artificial intelligence, but not a human will be replaced by artificial intelligence. Okay, because we have two things. We have intuition. Intuition means you do something without knowing why are you doing this. Okay, you like orange juice, I like apple juice, I don't know why. So it is intuition. Or I love this person, I like this place, I love going to Indonesia without knowing why. Okay, so this is intuition. And the second thing is consciousness. Okay, the second thing is consciousness. Being aware about your internal states, about the external, about your internal world and about the external world. These two things are not available. I mean, computers cannot do that. Intuitions and consciousness. Other things, learning, they can learn very fast, better than us. Calculating, problem solving, they can solve many problems in an order of magnitude time. They can make decisions better than us. Okay, but this is on one side. They are not intuitive, they are not conscious. The second thing, we as a human, we don't accept something we don't understand. Okay, and this is actually something I am working on now. How artificial intelligence can explain its decisions. And I call this, not me, but people call this explainable artificial intelligence. Okay, so when you have a deep learning network and you input some features and the network will give you the answer based on the features and the answers are correct, in your opinion, it needs to give you an explanation why you reached this conclusion. So artificial intelligence will not kill us, will not replace us, and will not enslave us. Artificial intelligence will work hand in hand with us. Okay, and this is called in artificial intelligence mixed initiative system. Okay, computers are humans are working hand in hand and to achieve the goals. So the computer will work with my doctor to propose the best course of treatment for my disease. The computer will not take decisions related to my health. The doctor alone will not take decisions relating to my health, they will work both together, hand in hand, in order to give me the best course of treatment for my. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. If you have any questions,
Okay.
if you are interested in pursuing anything, then you can see my website, my email. You can communicate with me, and I love to work with you.
Okay, okay, Pak Prof Ismail. Thank you for 2 hours presentation, almost 1.5 hours. Now start for the second session for the question and answer. There are 5, 6 questions. Yeah, I send also the private collect all the question to chat, Prof Ismail, and also I can read one by one. If I can read one by one. So you would like to answer one by one, or you pull together first? Okay, it's up to you. So the first question from Professor Andi Faisal.
Okay.
It's also on your chat. What about hologram? Is it considered artificial intelligence? And how does it work? Okay, that's the question. So we go to the 2 questions first, right? The second question from Dito Anurogo, yeah, from Nismu Makassar. Do the artificial intelligence AI will surely replace some works, including medical doctors, writer, lecturer, and teacher in the future? The second, what kind of job that won't be replaceable by artificial intelligence? Why?
Okay.
And thank you. Okay, the 2 questions first.
Okay, so for the first question, what do you mean by hologram, Andy?
Hologram, that's the hologram, the sticker.
Okay, let me explain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Professor Ismail Khalil. Very interesting presentation. Although I'm not actually from a background of technology or science and technology, I'm from Islamic studies, particularly da'wah and Islamic communication. But I'm interested in this kind of things. In terms of hologram, I've heard from a colleague from Japan that in the future, Japanese people do not need to go to Qatar for World Cup because they have already planned to create the system of hologram where the Japanese can watch the match in Tokyo as if they are in front of the stage of the soccer court, for example. And then, of course, the consequence of this will be also related to our religious practices. For example, doing pilgrimage. We can probably bring our Kaaba and Masjid al-Haram to Europe or to Indonesia and then do the pilgrimage wherever we want. Actually, I've got a lot of questions, but I think...
Okay, so, Andy, thank you for very, very interesting question. Hologram is not artificial intelligence.
Okay.
It is called augmented reality. Okay, so instead of augmented reality or virtual reality. Okay, so virtuals mean computer-based. Reality, we bring the match from Qatar to Tokyo, or we bring Al-Kaaba and Al-Haram Nabawi to Indonesia. So this is not artificial intelligence, but it is virtual reality. So it has nothing to do with artificial intelligence. How it works, to be honest, I don't know. Okay, I don't know how holograms works, but it is something related to virtual reality. Regarding the bringing Al-Kaaba and Al-Haram to Indonesia, we need to ask the scholars about this. I mean, whether it is shar'an acceptable or not. So we cannot decide by ourselves. I think for the question by Dr. Dito, I think I answered.
Ismail, can you release first for your presentation?
Yes.
Slide presentation.
Okay.
Or we can do it if you don't mind.
Yes, if you can do it.
Okay.
Okay, pause the share.
Yeah.
Now it works?
Okay.
Okay, it works now.
Yeah.
Okay. So for the questions of Dr. Dito, do the AI will surely replace some works? Yes. But as I mentioned, AI will replace tasks. So for example, you don't need, for example, an accountant or a financial advisor in your company. This can be replaced by artificial intelligence. Okay. It will not replace medical doctors, for example, because as I mentioned, they lack two things. The first thing is intuition, and the second thing is consciousness. And these two components of intelligence are very important components in the career of a medical doctor. Writers, I don't think so, because it needs intuition, it needs creativity. Lecturers, to some extent, yes, but not at all. Teachers, to some extent, yes. So the answer is, the future is for artificial intelligence to work hand in hand with the humans. It will not replace the humans, but it will replace or help the humans doing some kind of tasks. What task will not be replaced by, let me see, what task will not be replaced by
What's your read?
Won't be replaced by what kind of jobs that won't be replaced by artificial intelligence? For a joke, tukang cukur rambut, the job that will not be replaced by artificial intelligence. Many jobs will not be replaced by artificial intelligence. Jobs that require intuition and consciousness. Okay.
Okay.
But Sufyan, because I got lost.
The third
Which one?
From the Excel. Okay, let me read ya.
Yeah.
Excel in Indonesian, bagaimana mengimplementasikan AI, how the AI implementation to protect kawasan hutan, ya, atau biodiversity di kawasan hutan.
Okay, this is very important.
From Kementerian Lingkungan Hidup dan Kehutanan.
I'm very interested in this topic actually, and I have a student from UI who will join me here at the University of Linz to do her PhD on exactly this topic: machine learning and artificial intelligence for climate change. So, and we started an Asia Uninet project regarding this. So if you want, please write an email to me and I will send you the details of the project. The student from Indonesia, I can also give you her email address. She's from UI and she's supposed to work with me in October, to start working here in Linz in October on this topic. Yes.
Sure, I will. That's a great opportunity. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
It's good for Ismail. If we can also make another session, say for machine learning, for the next we can conduct, if you don't mind. Then we can inform to the peserta.
Yes.
Continue to this. Okay, let's continue to the part one from Ari Usmar, Dr. Ari Usmar.
Yeah.
Says, in your opinions, can AI be a solution in increasing the success of the learning in the current COVID-19 pandemic era? Can AI be a solution in increasing the success of learning in the current COVID-19 era? If yes, for example, what kind of AI is effective enough that you can recommend to be used in learning at higher education in Indonesia?
This is an important question. Artificial intelligence can be used in different aspects. For the education sector, I believe that artificial intelligence can be used as a virtual tutors, okay? Because the ability of the artificial intelligence system to comprehend, to digest and comprehend massive amount of knowledge is extraordinary. It is phenomenal. So I believe that with the experience we get from dealing with the COVID-19 these days and moving to virtual platforms, artificial intelligence will be very helpful. And actually, there's a version of IBM Watson available to universities, to educational institutes to be used in the classroom. So instead of bringing physical tutors to the classroom, students, I mean, at the undergraduate level and the postgraduate level can interact with the IBM Watson so very good question. Virtual tutors or virtual tutoring is one of the main applications. Of course, predictive analytics to predict the dropout rate of students. Most of the administration work that takes a lot of our time as professors at universities will be outsourced to machines, then will be done by humans. Yes. Okay. I hope I answered your question, but
yes. So the next question, from Nidaul Husanati also from Neni, I think the similar. The first question, semantic web technology, masuk bidang yang mana?
Dua-duanya. Knowledge engineering and reasoning. So semantic web is to model the web in a way that can be understood by machines, correct? So XML, whatever, ontologies, whatever are, and in the example of the pizza I mentioned in the talk, there is a reasoning part. So when you say pizza, you use semantic web to understand that it is a food. So it belongs to the concept of food than to something else or some other domain. So it belongs both to the semantic web and the knowledge engineering and the reasoning part of artificial intelligence.
Okay, from Neni Purwati, how about the business intelligence? Is that bagian mana for artificial intelligence?
Business intelligence is the outcome of artificial intelligence. Okay, so it is the artificial intelligence is a broader concept than business intelligence. So business intelligence about automating business decisions, okay, through the kind of dashboards we provide, the high-level management with summarized information so they can take decisions based on this. So like what we say, emotional intelligence. So it has nothing to do with artificial intelligence. Like we say, for example, artistic intelligence or whatever type of intelligence. Okay, so it is related to intelligence, but it is not related to artificial intelligence, meaning that it doesn't have the capability to learn from experience. Okay.
Okay. Next again from Ari Iryusmar.
Yeah.
Your opinions, is there a negative impact of artificial intelligence for the psychological development of the future generation? Cause it seems AI will make humans become lazy, even unuseful.
There is, I mean, Bahari, I am optimistic. I mean, artificial intelligence is my bread and butter. I wake up in the morning and the first thing I do, I look at the artificial intelligence news. There are people who are pessimistic and they talk about the negative aspects of artificial intelligence or the dark side of artificial intelligence. I am more optimistic, and I believe that artificial intelligence will help with the psychological development of a future generation than impact them in a negative way and making us lazy. I give you an example. I mean, again, to the industrial, many machines replaced the humans, but they didn't make humans lazier. Okay, if the person is lazy, then he is lazy. If the person is diligent, then he is diligent, whether you provide him with artificial intelligence or not. I give you another example. Our mobile phone automated a lot of our tasks. Okay, so instead, when you don't look for a dictionary now, Bahasa Indonesia, or look for the definition of some scientific term. You just grab your computer or your phone and look for it. You don't need to memorize the numbers of telephones of your friends. You don't need to read the map before you go from one point to another. You just grab. Does this make you lazy? I don't think so. So I don't think artificial intelligence will make it lazier, but maybe it will make us more reliant, okay, more depending on computers than on our own capabilities. Like now, believe me, I don't know my own telephone number because I outsources my memory to my mobile phone to do it. I hope I answered your question. Okay.
Okay, Pak Ismail.
Yeah.
I have to switch the computer since my link, my Zoom link. So now different computer. So let's continue. Since have the problem, so I can check another chat first. Yeah.
Okay. So
there is the question from Jainul Arham. Yeah?
Okay, the generation of AI and data science is more towards neural networks with deep learning and machine learning. Why is that? Because, I mean, the results we get from machine learning and deep learning are more obvious, okay, than the results we get from other disciplines of artificial intelligence or other fields of artificial intelligence. And this is the reason why there is more interest in deep learning and a neural network than in other fields of artificial intelligence. Okay, so let me summarize. Deep learning is the implementable piece of artificial intelligence, the thing that you can implement. Willie Santoso, what do you think about deep fake technology and how it works? The new popular AI software that can simulate one face image into live talkative video. Example, the picture of Mona Lisa that can be simulated to speak, blink, smile, frown, dynamic facial expression, etc. And is it prone to abuse? I mean, artificial intelligence has many applications, actually. I mean, as I mentioned in the beginning, there is no aspect of our life which was not affected by artificial intelligence. Okay, so deepfake is just one example of a funny use of artificial intelligence. Okay, there are other softwares available. I don't remember the name, but it got very popular in a very short of time. You feed your own photo and it will try to figure out how did you look when you were a child and how will you look when you are 90 years old. I don't remember the name of this software which is available on. So there are actually many applications of artificial intelligence, and most of these applications can be used for entertainment, for fun, or for some productivity application. So deepfake is one of them, and many will appear in the future. But you need to be careful about this kind of software, because the people are trying to take artificial intelligence to one of its very, very, very extremes, which is to copy or imitate a human intelligence, which is not possible.
Okay.
Zainul, does AI performance really depend on the data set? How to make knowledge, methods, and practical contribution themed research. How to make knowledge, methods, and practical contribution to AI themed research. There is interdependence between the amount of data, okay, and the algorithm used, and the performance of the algorithm. Okay, so these are the three contributors, the three drivers of interest in artificial intelligence. And so, for example, the algorithm we are using now are the same like the algorithms used in the beginning of artificial intelligence research. So there is no much progress at the only thing, the amount of data available to these algorithms is increasing, and this improved the performance of the algorithm. Okay, so this is the relation between how to make knowledge, methods, and practical contribution to AI themed research. All the components of the scientific method can be applied to artificial intelligence research. So there is nothing specific to artificial intelligence which is not specific to other fields of artificial intelligence or other disciplines of science. So it is the same. From Sukiana or Sisiana, the understanding that we are using AI already in many fields of study and daily activities is inspiring for future plan. Yes, you remember the story of the clothes, the new clothes of the emperor. If you cannot see artificial intelligence, then you are unfit for your job. Whether your job is to count page, as I mentioned, or your job is I don't know, the Einstein of Indonesia or whatever. Okay, so artificial intelligence is in every aspect of our daily life, and it will continue for our generation and the next generations. And this is the reason why I tried to approach it in a very simple way, so it will be understandable by everybody. Okay, I think these are all the questions in the chat. If there are any other questions you want to ask directly, I will be happy to answer. If not, then please feel free to contact me through my email, through my...
Yeah. So last from Willie is already answered, yeah, from Ismail.
From
Willie.
Yes.
Yeah, Willie. Yeah. Okay, is there any? Okay, so we come to the third session. So the directly interactively discussion. If anyone want to raise hand and asking directly, so we have actually 10:30 is already finished, but we asked for Prof. Ismail to extend for another minutes.
But I need to change my place if you don't mind.
Yeah, yeah.
Just for 1 minute. I'm hearing you.
We would like to invite him to Jakarta to win Jakarta, not only to Yogyakarta 3 years. We would like him also to be teaching here for 3 years in our university.
By the way, Pak,
after Corona.
Pak Sufyan yang jawab. Pak Sufyan jawab.
Actually, Prof. Ismail is already become the professor, yeah, in Jakarta last 2 years. But last year we processed for the continuing for the professor. But last year when he come to Jakarta and not to meet Professor Andi, probably this year when he come against Jakarta, I will bring him to your office, Prof. Andi.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah,
Inshallah.
very interesting to hear.
I love
our Muslim brother, scholar.
I will.
Yeah,
I will
very important.
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
Professor.
Anyone want to ask, even in Indonesian language atau in bahasa, please welcome. Minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. Okay.
Gitu ya.
Okay, if not, from Prof. Ismail for closing, material. If any conclusion or any things, 1 minute or 2 minutes, we can wrap for the conclusion for this event. And then what will be the next the next knowledge, then you can share. You can explain for the another 2 minutes. Please, Pak Ismail.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, Pak Sufyan, the director of NICT Jakarta, and thanks to all of you for attending this seminar. Actually, the basic idea is to introduce the topic of artificial intelligence. And from my experience, actually living and working in all over the world, there's a lot of hype surrounding artificial intelligence. So I wanted to clear up the hype surrounding artificial intelligence. And to prepare my brothers and sisters in religion and in humanity to the next era of ICT, information communication technologies, which is the era powered by mostly artificial intelligence emerging technologies. So in order to win the future, nations and people need to be equipped with at least the basic knowledge of artificial intelligence. And this is actually the idea of this seminar. If we will meet again in the future, I will try to elaborate on some of the specific aspects of artificial intelligence, for example, artificial intelligence and big data, artificial intelligence and natural language processing, artificial intelligence and other emerging technologies, which will be important to be understood and applied in our daily life. Most of all, thank you all for this interesting opportunity, and I hope that we can meet again, whether in person or virtually like this time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof. Ismail.
Thank you,
for this presentation and sharing knowledge for today. We hope we can continue for the next. For Bapak-Bapak Ibu sekalian, thank you for all of you to join this seminar series. Actually, we can continue for the next series, and we will inform you later. Jadi Bapak Ibu sekalian, allow me to talk in bahasa now. Bapak Ibu sekalian, jadi series ini memang kita buat secara series nanti. Ya, yang topik yang sekarang ini ada artificial intelligence. Kebetulan Prof. Ismail dengan kami itu sudah cukup lama, dan saya dengan Prof. Ismail juga running ATWOS International Organization, dan AIWOS mulai dari Austria yang pertama di Jogja sampai yang terakhir. Tahun ini AIWOS ada di Thailand, nanti informasi lebih lanjut, dan kita juga berencana dalam rangka ini juga akan memberikan series ya, tidak hanya artificial intelligence pun nanti dielaborate, tadi disampaikan. Mungkin nanti ke depannya ada big data, juga dengan text mining, NICT. Kebetulan kita juga ada 2 kali research together. Nah ini Pak Ismail juga, Profesor Ismail juga ada beberapa Indonesian student for doctoral degree atau PhD student yang juga bimbingannya, dan mahasiswa tadi juga disampaikan yang dari UI, dari yang lainnya. Dan juga bagi yang juga tertarik untuk research together, dan ini bisa nanti continue untuk koresponden, sudah ada alamat dan sebagainya. Bapak Ibu sekalian, terima kasih banyak atas partisipasi semuanya. Mohon maaf mungkin ada hal-hal yang kurang berkenan, dan juga nanti informasi lebih lanjut baik mengenai materi, mengenai seminar, dan link daripada rekaman dan sebagainya akan kita siapkan, akan kita kirim segera mungkin. Jadi nanti informasi lebih lanjut bisa juga lihat nanti dari web kita, kemudian dari Facebook, dan dari apa yang sudah kita informasikan. Oke, demikian, terima kasih. Mengucapkan hamdalah. Kita tutup. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi.
Berikutnya kita coba ambil picture dulu, together ya, bersama-sama. Ini bentar, itu ada
kan udah ada pengalaman yang lalu.
Oke. Ini yang chat kan mohon dihidupkan videonya. Bisa tidak mengirim chat dulu, kita chat dulu 3 minutes. Oke, saya ada 3 layar nih ya. Kita ada 3 layar.
Kita izin tidak ikut bicara.
Coba kita lanjutkan sembari kita.
Atau bunyinya begini.
Oke, ini tadi ini saya prepare dulu karena tadi di restart ini saya komputer saya. Oke, let's start. 3, 2, 1. Oke, bentar saya pindahkan dulu. Bantu juga ya. Oke, screen yang kedua. Oke, baik. 3, 2, 1. Baik, terima kasih Bapak-Ibu sekalian atas ininya. Sampai jumpa lagi di berbagai kesempatan. Bagi yang baru kenal tadi juga kita sudah bersapa. Bagi yang kenal nanti kita bisa lagi. Demikian. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih Bapak-Ibu sekalian. Terima kasih Pak Happy.